Hey guys, this is Registered Nurse Richard Ogachi. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's been great. It's been good. So far, so good. We are going hard and trying to be all I can be 24/7, 365. Trying to take action, as I told you guys earlier in my previous videos, like procrastination is a disease that stops you from achieving your potential, like stops you from exploring and trying out new stuff and trying to be effective in what we do. But you see, when procrastination attacks you, or you're coming from a point of always procrastinating, you realize that you always give more time. You are always never prepared. You're always not ready. And it's always about tomorrow. That you lie to yourself that tomorrow is gonna come and that tomorrow is the best time. And that this kind of people, me included before, they're always starting. I'm gonna start that business. I'm gonna reach out to those people. I'm gonna go visit that person. I'm gonna make that call. I'm gonna travel to that city. I'm gonna solve that problem tomorrow. They're always starting. I'm gonna start that process next year. They're always starting. Always starting. When you meet, always expression of starting, but never started, ever. Ever not started. And even when it started, never completed and never finished. Guys, for the short time that I've lived, I've tried a lot of things, most of which have terribly failed. Not succeeded in most of the things that I've tried. And what I've even realized is, most people who've really had, who shows that they have made some progress. We always don't have the best definition for progress because every person defines progress differently. But in terms of now being effective progress, I can say that you are in this point and now you've got to this point. You've got to a better situation or a better position. You started something and you were so bad at it, and in the end, when all is said and done, you find that you made good progress in terms of maybe if it's doing something or if it's knowing how to come up with solutions for specific problems. You realize that you become better the more problems you solve. If I may give you my own analogy about now basing my argument on what I've said, is that what I've come to realize in life is war. Life is war. Life is war. You fight every day. You fight all the time. You have things, conflicting ideas coming against you every day, all the time. You're always facing problems or challenges all the time, and your reactionary standpoint is to make sure that at least you are trying to find good solutions for your specific problems. And you see, most people have been very consistent in that. They've come up very tremendous solutions for specific difficult problems. When you're consistent in finding good solutions for problems, humanly problems, earthly problems, the more solutions you find and the more problems you solve, the better you become at problem solving. So I have my best top three shows that I usually watch. And this was based on the value and the content that is putting me in a good position to be effective in what I'm trying to pursue. I watch very closely 3 shows. I watch The Profit, I watch Shark Tank, and Business Wars. And that's why I'm saying, like, life is war. You're fighting. So your competition, they're always thinking ahead of you. They're always trying to get you out of business, or they're always trying to get you like fail in what you're doing, so that they don't have competition, so that they put themselves in a point of an advantage to make a fortune, or maybe to get ahead and get their problems solved better. When I watch Business Wars, I see it just like exactly like life. When you're faced with situations, predicaments, and sometimes you get into difficult situations that you're not even able to come out of, you can always be sure that there's some kind of innovations or some kind of problem solving you have to be involved in for you to get out of those kind of problems or situations. I've watched a series. I put a lot of hours on Business Wars, just cutting across from all competitions on different type of businesses. The best of the best for me is Pepsi versus Coke. Open happiness, guys. Open happiness. Pepsi versus Coke. You know, Pepsi is always trying to get Coke out of business. And Coke is trying to get Pepsi out of business at whatever cost. In terms of the resources they put in marketing, I mean, like putting the brand out there in the world. Part of the reason why I like Pepsi versus Coke in Business Wars is the fact that every place, every small place you go in the world, the constant factor is Coke. You always find Coke somewhere. It's a world humongous brand. They're everywhere. And you see, when you get to different countries, they have their soft drinks made from Coke taste differently. But still, you know, by market rating, they're always number 1 for soft drinks production. So what makes Coke ahead of Pepsi? For example, whatever that means, I don't know which is better between Coke and Pepsi, but I know both of them, most people like them. Great deal. Cut from the other lists also, we're talking about Starbucks against Dunkin'. You're talking about ESPN against Fox Sports. Yeah. Xbox against PlayStation. You know, you're talking about Nike versus Under Armour. You're talking about IBM versus Univac. The very gravy and greasy competition between those products in the market. Talk about even the social media products like apps. We're talking about Instagram versus TikTok. Looking at KFC versus Chick-fil-A. the amount of money that is spent on the marketing of those products, brand visibility, you know. So what I've even come to realize is there's too much influence on the mind, and the influence is pre-planned. People are always like planning on how to get things into your head. And most of us don't even know, including scrolling on social media. And now that we have AI, it's going to change everything forever, forevermore. But now you have to be very intentional on what you spend your time on. Otherwise, you'll be just scrolling and listening and following unnecessary brands or products, and that will waste a lot of your time. But the thing I was talking about is, when you look at the kind of strategy that is behind these big market giants, it's not without reason that Coke is everywhere in the world. You're talking about marketing strategy, about quality in short. Like how good is Coke, What do you feel when you take it? And then they present it as that, and then give you exactly what you want. How creative are these companies? How creative are people behind these brands? That even as the brand is the best of the best, we're talking about eBay against paper, greasy, like crazy market and serious competition. So that analogy, I think the only way it can help us is to put it exactly directly into our lives. If you want to improve or become better at something in life, you have to be good at something at least, because that's what's going to give you an edge for entry level or success, to be able to get to the table and get what you want. You have to have a competitive advantage. You have to have something special. Otherwise, you're never going to make it. So you have to use these strategies in life to go down and sit and plan. Like, do you follow up on time? Do you focus on one thing for a long time? Do you make decisions and you take time to change them? Because some of us, we make decisions today, and tomorrow, based on your emotions, you are talking about something totally different from what you had planned. You have to make sure that nobody is going to convince you out of your dream or out of something that you're really pursuing and you're passionate about it and you think it's going to be a good solution for people. Even as we keep watching these shows and the business wars and looking at how other brands are succeeding, we must also try out to find even other solutions for worldly problems. Like, for example, what I'm trying to do right now is trying to strategize and brainstorm and ask the right questions about the problems that we have in Africa. We have to find our solutions for our problems. And this is not going to be easy. We have to put money, we have to put the resources, we have to have goodwill from people who really have to give what they're supposed to give for us to have a good environment to put these systems in place, to have success in terms of creating jobs for people in Africa. Because even the brands that I'm talking about, business wars, Nike versus Under Armour, Starbucks versus Dunkin', you see, we have to have products in the African market that are looking similar to those. if we really want to get ahead and get solutions for our own problems. It never gets easy, guys. It's always hard. But the differentiator is if you don't lose focus, if you don't give up, that's what is going to make you stand out and even get closer to your dreams and get to achieve what you've been wanting to achieve for a long time. Guys, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel, guys. It can get this better, guys. Thank you so much, and for sure, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.